Hello everyone, it is our great pleasure to present our research results. The title is Using AI in Cybersecurity Compliance, a fast, precise, and budget-saving solutions. It is a teamwork with my colleague Mustafa Bereba, who will speak in the second part, and with my colleague Jeremy Benoit. My name is Hongtao Hao. I'm a senior consultant on cybersecurity at KPMG Canada. For our presentation, first I would like to thank our colleagues Samuel Bono, Hadija Abdehalmadid, and Saliu Nadiye, who contribute for our research. Also, I would like to thank Sean Head from Cloud Security Alliance, who invited us. The views expressed here are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of their employers. First, we will present the context and challenge following proposition of AI solutions. Then we will show you the experimentation processes and findings to conclude by further research directions and steps. Many works have been done on the role of AI with threat detection and response, which can evolve fast with the arms race between cybersecurity professionals and the cyber criminals. That's to say, AI to harm versus AI to protect. However, much less attention is paid in compliance, even though it can be costly and extremely time-consuming. Compliance is a business requirement to earn trust. It is necessary in third-party and supply chain. In this presentation, we propose a method to increase speed and efficiency by leveraging AI techniques. As we know, the security landscape is ever-changing. Your enterprise should regularly evaluate the security of your resource to determine whether they are vulnerable to novel attacks. With a diversified market requirement, everyone agrees that it is not enough to have just one framework. You will not be unfamiliar with an organization preparing SOC 2 after achieving ISO and NIST. If the internal compliance officer needs only one word to express his challenge, I guess it will be exhausting. The challenge is diverse, from economy to technology to legal. The harsh reality is that the framework is always evolving. You need to run and catch up with the new revision. Never stop. Just to give you an idea, for example, the NIST CSF will release version 2 this year. The ISO 27001 released version 2022 from 2013. The SOC 2 released another version in 2022. CMMC, which is based on NIST 171, will release revision 3 this year. For CSA CCM V4, it will release a major revision of implementation guidelines in spring 2024. I have the honor to work in this project. Sometimes you have specific questionnaires required by your business partner. They may require specific questionnaires beyond recognized frameworks. Different partners may necessitate different customized questionnaires. For example, we know an enterprise receives 600 questions from a business partner. The team needed to dedicate a few months to gather all the responses. The challenges, starting from scratch, requires significant time, as does updating. The employees tasked with this often change roles or even leave the organization. This results in a loss of knowledge and methodology, leading to a lack of continuity. In these recent 3 years, the meeting switched to virtual, mostly. You are not in the old good days, you can just knock the neighbor's door to another office to ask the question. So the continuous compliance can be a solution. Ideally, when some controls are not compliant, they are flagged. You get a prioritized list of recommendations for what you need to fix. Recommendations help you reduce the attack surface across each of your resources. To resume the challenges, in the realm of cybersecurity, compliance is a multifaceted endeavor that necessitates the involvement of numerous teams. This process can be both costly and strenuous, particularly during audit season. The complexity is further amplified when multiple frameworks are required, leading to an exhaustive and expensive exercise. Here, we show you a proposed solution named Compliance Center. It can help you to obtain responses of each question, provide you dynamic dashboard of results, and track the history of answers if modified. Beside each question, justifications and proofs can be written and uploaded for further usage. It takes out your need to meet again and again with your colleagues to obtain responses of questionnaires. By comparison, the cost reduction and efficiency gains are significant with traditional methods. Here we show you an example. The scenario is an enterprise, we call it client, prepares a compliance framework and the help of external specialists, we call it consultant. Surely, it can be also used in other internal situations, such as between responsible for compliance project and other colleagues in your organization. In the first step, we need to collect the general documents, such as policies, procedures that are related to a specific compliance framework. Finish the time that you search just one document inside all your 300 emails of this task. In the second step, with the AI tools, we use local deployed large language models to fine-tuning the model with the previous documents and to validate the AI results by comparing with traditional method. In the third step, the key component is to deploy a platform as a bridge to keep a dynamic information between consultant and client. First, for the recording of a work session between client and the consultant. It is not efficient to find what a client has responded in the videos that can contain a few sessions and a few hours. First, AI language models can be deployed to translate the voice to text. Then, with semantic analysis, the LLM model can provide answers to a specific questions by using the script. This is an advantage after the COVID because virtual meetings, you can record the videos. Then, the client uploads specific documents, such as relevant proofs and evidence to the platform. AI can use this document to provide answer while show the reference. For example, the document name, the page, even the paragraph. Now I pass to my colleague Mustafa, who will show you a scenario of compliance assessment in practice. It's yours, Mustafa.
Hi everyone, my name is Mustafa Beraba. I'm a manager of R&D team, compliance research team at KPMG. Today we will see how compliance assessment is done in practice. Traditionally, security consultants manually gather information from client, either through internal documentation or security questionnaire. They identify gaps where their organization's practice do not comply with standards. This process is time consuming and repetitive, creating an opportunity for automation. Automating these steps are not only save times, but also allows organization to act faster. It streamlines the identification of gaps, enabling consultants to provide recommendation promptly. This in turn help clients implement change more efficiently. Automation not only speed up the process, but also allows security officers to focus on more critical tasks, enhancing overall efficiency. We wanted a compliance assessment process to be rapid, continue, and operate at the speed of technology. In the NIST standard, let's focus on the account management control. Discover various topics related to managing, monitoring, and auditing accounts. Certain standards need to be checked off depending on whether your organization falls under low, moderate, or high impact. Understanding the control structure is very important in determining compliance against a requirement. It's important to understand a specific control and how they structure it. In each control family, there are the baseline control, which are the minimum requirement for compliance. Additionally, there are control enhancement, which are an extra steps for an organization to be even more compliant. Within each control requirement, there are something called organization-defined parameter. These are essential details that need to be extracted from the control standard. Examples include frequencies, time periods, job title. For example, in the retention requirement for auditing, the organization-defined parameter is the time of retaining records. In control enhancement, you may find different organization-defined controls. Some are straightforward, like standard data type, while others are more complex, involving prerequisites and conditions for granting access to systems. When developing our AI pipeline, we aim to extract and address these various parameters. I'd like to show you a concrete example. On the left, you see the user response to a question in a security questionnaire. They talk about the system allowing groups membership, the control they use, and the steps needed for an authorization to access the system. On the right, the control called AC2 from the NIST standard. Notice how different parts of the user response connect to various sub-requirements within this control. When we're automating this process, it's crucial for us to map which part from the security questionnaire correspond to this requirement. This mapping helps us determine compliance accurately. However, we faced a couple of challenges. Firstly, we had no historical security questionnaire, or we had access to a limited internal document. Our starting point was a single sample questionnaire, policies, and some procedure. Another challenge was dealing with the legal compliance language, which is often convoluted and ambiguous, making compliance open to interpretation. As we go through, I will explain how we tackled these challenges. We tackled those challenges with the help of two powerful models. Our first model is dedicated to information retrieval, where we'll delve into extracting key details from user responses. This includes not only standard entity like a job title and frequency, but also more complex requirements. Our second model determines compliance against each requirement within the policies. For this, we needed to map each user responses and the question to which control they map to, but also identifying what the logic is to assess the compliance. In our compliance center application, the system consists of four main components. The first one is the conversational UI component to interact with the user. in a format of chatbot widget, Excel questionnaire, simple Excel that we can upload, or a web questionnaire. The middleware is the important one, is divided in two main components. The data integration layer. This component acts as a central hub for processing user input from different sources, including the conversation UI, the Excel, and the web. It ensures seamless communication between the various interfaces and prepare the data for further processing. The compliance summary generation inside the middleware not only facilitate data exchange, but also generate comprehensive summaries and consolidate information from different inputs. And the AI pipeline composed of the two main models. The first one, the information retrieval model responsible for extracting relevant information, and the classification compliance model classify information based on compliance criteria. And finally, the compliance-centered dashboard that give user recommendation in friendly manner. Let's break down what we did with our experimentation framework. We started with a security questionnaire and a PDF document with the NIST 853, which lists policy requirements. From there, we recreated the questionnaire in question and answer format. To make our evaluation better, we used the questionnaire to create a data set using a large language model. We generated around 3,000 conversations that refined through quality assurance to make reliable data sets. We also matched the security questionnaire question with NIST standard to link question to the needed data point. We even identified the logic required to check for compliance in policies. Next, we designed initial prompt and fine-tuned the first model, evaluated them using both quantitative metric and feedback from domain experts. It was an iterative process, refining prompt and fine-tuning in some cases with version control. Most our focus was on prompt fine-tuning, moving to evaluation. To evaluate the model, we needed to define what correct extraction is. Different organizations may have stricter checks, so we looked at two levels. The first level is an exact match, where the model output matches the ground truth exactly. We used classification metric like precision, the percentage of entity extracted by the LLM that were identified correctly, and the recall is the percentage of named entity present in the ground truth that were identified by the LLM. And the LLM is the large language model. The F1 score is the harmonic mean between the precision and the recall. The second type involves more complex data points, like prerequisite or condition, where the model output may differ more. The model was likely to generate a paraphrase of the response. This doesn't mean the model is wrong. So we didn't solely rely on exact matches for evaluation, but on similarity score. It's a measure of semantic similarity between two words or phrases. This similarity score lies between 0, no similarity, and 1, exact match. Here's a summary of our finding. In the information retrieval, entities such as job, title, account type, IT system were easy to extract as exact matches. Process-related variable, condition, and access requirement were a bit more challenging for the model relative to the defined entities. The model was likely to generate a paraphrase of the response as opposed to extracting directly from text. Structuring the LLM output was important. The LLM is a raw text. The output of the LLM is a raw text and need to go through parsing and type check to extract a structured JSON object that can be consumed by our middleware. And the last one, the simple vector similarity search, its most important one, might be sufficient when the LLM needs information from multiple documents and even just multiple chunks to generate an answer. The LLM, the context window of the LLM is limited. To move further, our scenario necessitates often require or necessitate retrieving information from multiple sources to generate accurate answers. While textual summarization can be challenging, representing information in graph format can offer several advantages. We processed each document separately and connected them in knowledge graph, and we constructed a structured representation of the information. This approach allows for easier traversal and navigation through interconnected documents, enabling multi-hop reasoning to answer complex queries. And the knowledge graph is a condensed information storage. It uses nodes and relationship to represent the data and connect them to each other. And finally, leveraging the power of the knowledge graph, a new era of unified compliance is realized. By structuring and connecting information in a knowledge graph, we transcended traditional silo, providing comprehensive and interconnected view of regularity requirement. This innovative approach enables organizations to seamlessly navigate in the complex landscape of compliance, ensuring a unified understanding of obligation and facilitating efficient compliance management. With the knowledge graph at the core, disparate sources of compliance data converge into a single, coherent framework. Thank you.
Thank you, Mustafa. All these discussions lead us to an important approach: do once, report many. Here is an example is integrate SOC 2 into an existing security framework to enhance the efficiency and the compliance of the security program. We have three main advantages. First, mitigate the strain of audit season by preventing repetitive stress, which typically hampers organizational efficiency due to recurring audits. Second, minimize the escalation of time and the budget allocated for various compliance programs. Third, prevent diversion from your business core objectives by ensuring that your key engineers do not spend excessive time preparing for compliance and other audit support requests. To conclude, this method can leverage AI to accelerate the compliance process. After conducting extensive research, we have observed promising outcomes, leading our organization to commit investments in advancing the development of the next generation compliance center. Of course, AI is just a tool. Human is always essential. So if you have any ideas or if you want to know more, you are welcome to contact one of us. Here is our email and LinkedIn. We will be very pleased to share all the details. And here is some further reading and reference if you are interested. And thank you very much. We are looking forward to discuss with you in the discussion period.